I'm just playing devil's advocate. Smile! No, why did you pick me, man? I didn't do that. I knew I shouldn't have come. You're here listening to me now, right? If I broke into your home or apartment, okay? And suppose I decided to shave in the same mirror that you put your makeup on every morning, would I see your goals? Yeah. If I reach for a glass of water in your icebox where you may keep your bacon and eggs or whatever, would I see your goals? If I took off my jacket in the same closet that you take off your blouse or whatever, would I see your goals? If I got tired and slept in your bed on the same side that you sleep on and rolled out the same side you roll out every morning, what would be the first thing that I would see? Would I see your goals? So what thou seest, that thou beest. And that's all I had. When times got difficult, I leaned on my dreams. When people slammed the door in my face, I would just think about my dreams over and over and over and over again. When they cut my water off or take my car and tell me, hey, this won't work and that won't work, hell, I would go down to the bookstore. I went down to B. Dalton's bookstore in Atlanta, Georgia, and asked for my book years before it was finished. I had a bad day, somebody kicked me in my mouth, and I would do that routinely. Go down to B. Dalton's bookstore and ask for my book. Go up to the desk and I asked the manager, I said, do you have that book? It's about blacks and achievement, and she would say, who's the author? And I said, some guy named Kimbro, and she would go to books and print and look it up and couldn't find it there. Then she would go to the microfiche and couldn't find it there. Then she would look on her computer. And a couple times they even called Ingram in Nashville, Tennessee, the distributor. She said, now who's the author? I said, some guy named Kimbro. She said, are you sure about the time? I said, yeah, the book is #1. It's taking the country by storm. Everybody has it. You know what I'm saying? And I did that several times. 2-3 years before the book came out. Don't you know, when the book came out, I had a very, very, very successful book signing in that same bookstore. And it was a book, and the author's name is Kimbro, and it is a bestseller, and everybody has it. So I don't care what others say. It's what you say. The most important conversation you'll ever have is the one you have with yourself. I can't control what the rest of these guys are going to do. I can't control that. The only thing I can control is what goes on in here. And I can live my life in advance. That's all it is. All you are is a blank sheet of paper in the mind of the Creator. You come into this existence with 2 words. Our Creator gives us 2 words, I am, and leaves it up to you to fill in the blanks. Some folks say I am rich. Some folks say I'm healthy. Some folks say I'm prosperous. Some folks say, hey, I am wonderful, whatever. And then you got a whole contingent of other folks say, hey, I am downtrodden. I am down and out. I am poor. I'm impoverished. You fill in the blanks. Our Creator doesn't know who's rich and who's poor. Our Creator doesn't know if John Johnson's worth $150 million and T. Boone Pickens and Ross Perot are billionaires and some poor black woman in Oakland is, trying to put an existence together. Our Creator doesn't know that. The only thing our Creator knows is the thoughts that you send out. And you can put anything that you want. See, that's what's meant in the Bible by Judgment Day. The Bible tells you Judgment Day. We've been taught Judgment Day. If we've been good, we go to some place called heaven. If we've been bad, the Creator pulls a trap door on us and we go to hell. That's not Judgment Day. Judgment Day is a day in which all your thoughts become things. You want a different Judgment Day to think different thoughts. Right now, this is my Judgment Day because I thought these different thoughts. That question about how you began writing. How I began?
Like if a person wants to write, like what
you want to write? You want to write? Then write every day. Okay. You write every day. Okay. You write every day. Okay. You write every day. Okay. And you can ask Pat, she's sitting right next to you. There's times I sat at my computer, and I got 3 computers at home. And I would sit at that computer, and sometimes the ideas did not come. And when I'm writing, like I got a deadline now, I got a book coming out in November in which I got to edit some things on, and I'm just praying the ideas come. Because it's not a pretty sight being in the house with me with no ideas coming. Pat can tell you that. I mean, there was one time on this meditation book, or several times in the meditation book, the ideas just didn't seem to flow. And one time I got up out of the bed at 3:30 in the morning, and Pat heard all this rustling. And she said, man, what are you doing? She cut the light on, and she says, you're on your knees praying for an idea, aren't you? I said, that's right. Write every day. Writing means rewriting. You want to be a writer? You're a writer. You surround yourself with the image of yourself. Why is my book a bestseller? Because I did one thing right? No. My book is a bestseller because I did 90 things right. Besides interviewing all these black achievers, I interviewed 6 best-selling authors, asking them, how do you write a bestseller? I interviewed Charles Garfield, who wrote Peak Performers. I interviewed Harvey Mackay. I interviewed George Gilder, who wrote Spirit of Enterprise. I interviewed Robert Shook. All best-selling authors. And I asked them, how do you write a bestseller? And they told me. And I put it all down on a piece of paper, and I just did it. You see, Booker T. Washington says success always leaves footprints. Booker T. Washington said success always leaves footprints. It's not rocket scientry. You surround yourself with the image of yourself, and you never ever take advice from anybody who's not in life where you want to be. Would you? I was on a radio talk show, and I don't know what town it is, and the guy says, anybody have any questions for Dr. Kimbro? And this guy called up and said, yeah, I got a question for the doctor. I want to be a millionaire. And I said, that's easy. Take a millionaire to lunch. He said, well, why should I take a millionaire to lunch? He's a millionaire. He ought to take me to lunch. I said, no. See, you take the millionaire to lunch to find out what the millionaire knows. Millionaire doesn't even know what you know. He's already been broke. You need to find out what he knows. Any other questions?
What are the steps that you have a goal, but you work and financially saying I have this goal, and I'm trying to reach it, but it's, to you it feels like it's taking forever to reach that goal?
Well, I don't know what it's going to take for you to reach your mission, but if you're not in life where you want to be, or you're not in life where you need to be, it's because of one thing and one thing only. Your goals are not clearly defined. That is it. That is it. There's black men and women that came from dire circumstances. I mean, when I heard some of these stories, see, I'm not telling anybody in this room that you got to become a Rhodes Scholar like Bonnie St. John in Los Angeles, and you have to do it on one leg. I'm not telling you to do that. I'm not telling anybody in this room they got to become a Booker T. Washington. How old was Booker T. Washington when he founded Tuskegee? 24. What were you doing at 24? And he went door to door. Booker T. Washington went door to door and raised $6 million. I'm not telling you to do that. You see what I'm saying? I'm not telling you you got to go through the nonsense that John Johnson went through to start Negro Digest that became Ebony. I mean, when I interviewed that guy and I went to S.B. Fuller's offices in Chicago, they told me that John Johnson Fuller was